It's been a long time. It's 2025. Let's go.
Hold on to your butts.
So in this episode, we're going to talk about 10 basic gear items or pieces of kit that I carry in my everyday bag to work. These items aren't going to be all encompassing to things that I carry with me on duty, as I do carry a lot of things with me on my duty belt as well as on my person. Though the specific items I'm talking about in this video are geared towards what I as a law enforcement officer carry in my bag every day, many of these items can apply to everyday people, everyday civilians. What you can carry in your lunch bags or go bags or your purses, whatever it is that you may or may not need throughout the day just to get you by. I think the very first thing I should start with, apart from all the gear that I have laid out here on the table, is we're going to talk about the bag that I use. Now, within my specific law enforcement work environment, there are many people who carry just lunch bags, and then there are those who carry bags, backpacks. Now, the specific bag that I have elected as my everyday bag is this bag by Condor. Now this specific bag, I believe, is 45, which is plenty of space to carry everything that I need. And it's got three major compartments. It's got one outer compartment, it's got one upper, smaller compartment, and a very large inner compartment. Why the practicality of the three compartments? Well, I don't want a bag with so many different compartments because in the environment where I work, they do security checks, and it's much easier to open three compartments as opposed to 45 different compartments. In addition, if I ever wanted to, I can get additional pouches to attach to the MOLLE, this material that's stitched into the outer layer, if you're not familiar with what MOLLE is.
So MOLLE is a military acronym for an accessory attachment system. All of these little straps on the outside are part of the MOLLE system. It's on the side, and it's on the top. When you think MOLLE, just think adjustability. Think, I have an accessory that I want to put somewhere on the exterior of a pack, and I want to be able to move it around. So this is a MOLLE pouch. This particular pouch is for a flashlight. To mount MOLLE to a bag, the first thing you got to do is take the object outside of the pouch itself. Most MOLLE systems, if not all of them, work exactly the same way. It's a threading system, it's a weave. On a pouch, you're going to have a long piece of material. This is not the piece of material that you want to end with. This is the stop. You want to lead with the piece that has the snap. First thing you want to do is you're going to pull it underneath or push it underneath on the pouch or bag you want to put it on. Slide it underneath on the accessory pouch. Weave it underneath the second strap. Weave it underneath the last strap of the accessory pouch. And you're going to snap it. Then you can put your item back into the pouch. Give it a shake to make sure it's going to be stable. Give it a tug to make sure it's not going to come off. That's it. So that's what MOLLE is. Think accessories and being able to move the accessory. And you got your MOLLE pouch attached to the back of your bag.
Now, for me, I'm one of those individuals that doesn't eat all the time at work.
Fuck you.
It could vary from me just bringing my breakfast and some snacks, carrying my lunch and some snacks, me just carrying snacks. In a law enforcement capacity, you always have to be prepared for staying longer, a regularly scheduled shift. There are things that happen throughout the day that necessitate the possibility of being held over to cover someone else's shift who wasn't able to come into work.
Fuck you.
There's overtime, or there's incidents that occur which cause us to have to stay a little bit or a lot of it. You always want to have that nutrition available to you, especially if you work those long hours, long days, summertime. You're depleting your calories a lot quicker. I will have at the very least one meal that's packed in a good plastic sealable container. It's quick, easy to clean, to where if I wanted to bring another dry good food item such as oatmeal or something, I can quickly dump it in this microwavable bowl, add some water, mix it up, and voila, I got some more calories there. Some other food options that I like to keep extra on hand, something quick and easy.
That's what she said. Michael.
These may not be the most nutritious options for you. If you're out of food and you're starving because you've been doing whatever you've been doing all day, simply add water. And I also like to bring little condiments with me. I mean, these weigh nothing and they add a ton of flavor to whatever food item or backup food item I may have with me. Also, I like to go with nutrient survival. Nutrient survival is jam-packed with all of the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. It's got tons of vitamins, minerals, nutrients, all to help you keep on going throughout your day.
Our country is still a natural place, best spent in the company of friends, family, and the great outdoors. Introducing Nutrient Survival. Top shelf, delicious, special ops grade nutrition. Designed to exceed the nutritional standards of the U.S. military, but intended for people like us. Created with purpose to sustain the spirit of a nation, to fuel independence, determination, and the power to endure, so you can protect what you love. Nutrient Survival. Feed your freedom.
Head on over to Nutrient Survival and check out all the different options that may be applicable to your situation. And I guarantee you, you're gonna find some great food items, snack items that are easy to carry in your bag, won't weigh you down because it's because all these items are freeze-dried, dehydrated, and ready to go. You may be into doing shakes. So one option for you is I will carry my blender bottle with me, and sometimes I'll dump this in ahead of time and pre-mix it up, or I can carry this with me if I'm not sure if I want to shake or not really in the mood for it. I mean, this is another option for you, blender bottles with your dried shake mixes as well. I always carry little items, and sometimes I'll even keep these on my person because I never know where I'm going to be at any given time. But you got these high calorie, high protein, high energy output items such as mixed nuts, protein bars. If you're into the protein thing, I mean, there's lots of good different protein sticks.
That's what she said.
I always keep a bag of seeds as well. And I also keep a pack of gum, and that's if I don't have time to stop and check my grill or whatnot. I can pop one of these bad boys in and it kind of pseudo does it for me. What good is having food without having a utensil? There's a bunch of different ones that you can carry on you. I like to carry just a simple plastic spork. You don't like to do dishes, and you have the ability whenever you go to different restaurants, or if you like to go to Smart and Final or whatever, you can pick up a bunch of these pre-packaged spork, spoon, knife, napkin, salt, hand sanitizer, little dilly bobbies. And then when you're done with it, simply throw it away. All right, the next item I'm gonna cover is hydration. And one thing that I always carry with me, and I encourage you to carry with you, is a container for water. If I end up close to the Keurig machine, I'll always carry a coffee pod or two with me, container, depending on the season. If I want to just heat up the water and then toss it in there for hot or cold coffee, I have these mushroom coffees as well. Or during the hotter months, I like to carry tumbler like this, and that way I can keep my water cooler and I don't have to lug around something as big. As calories get depleted once again, you know, I will always have in my bag things like liquid IV, add to my water, and then these supplements by Nutrient Survival. There's a few different flavors that I like to carry. You have an orange flavored drink, as well as a lemon lime and a berry flavored drink. But whatever the case may be, hydration is extremely important. It's part of the rule of 3. You cannot go 3 days without water. Water's important. Water, 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 water.
Gatorade not only quenches your thirst better, it tastes better too, idiot.
You're drinking the wrong water.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Gatorade.
H2O.
Hydrate. Stay hydrated. Hygiene. No matter what you do all day, any day, it behooves you in a professional environment to stay so fresh and so clean. I always carry a packet of dude wipes. Be a little more gentle on your culo. Go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section if you can attest to the greatness of dude wipes. Gold Bond. Now Gold Bond will keep everything dry in places that tend to sweat and get moist. And Gold Bond up, you can feel a lot better. Especially if you get the medicated one. It has a great sensation. Deodorant. Now these last 2 examples I just showed you, I obviously don't carry the family size Gold Bond powder, nor do I carry a full size deodorant stick with me in my bag. If you go to your local big box store, Walmart, Target, Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS, the list goes on, you can find yourself in the travel section, the little tiny versions of these items that you can carry in a pencil pouch,
a tiny little makeup bag or hygiene kit or whatever. But
the bottom line is you can collect those micro items for your hygiene, store them in a smaller bag, and then place them more neatly so they're not roaming around your bag. Especially you don't want Gold Bond powder puffing up out of its container, getting all over all your stuff. No bueno. I like to take care of my grill. A little toothpaste and a little toothbrush go a long way. Or if you don't quite have time, I tend to keep 1 or 2 of these in my pocket, and they're just little flossers. I'm one of those people that typically is wearing some sort of head cover all day, but this doesn't necessarily apply to me. But on occasion, on that rare occasion that I want my hair to look spiffy for a staff meeting or whatnot, just a little travel size container of fix your lid. I always carry a comb with me, not so much for my head, but I like to take care of my beard to make sure it's not skanky and scraggly and nasty and little pokies prickling my face, making me itch, as well as just a little bit of any nondescript beard oil. And lastly, nail clippers. This is a good survival cutting tool. I mean, apart from your Zortos and your Schminger nails, you can cut cordage with this as well. Next. All right, number 4, a basic med kit. In my bag at any given time, I'll typically keep Kleenex, chapstick, an empty Altoid tin full of various size Band-Aids, and alcohol swabs, hand sanitizer. This is probably one of the most vital things that you need to have in your bag. Law enforcement, military, civilian, whoever you are, hand sanitizer. People don't like to wash their hands. People are just naturally gross. So protect yourself from the germs. Also have a couple of cough drops, an immunity. I'll keep a multi-pouch of various medicines, aspirin, ibuprofen, vitamins, allergy medicine as well. Your partners may get a headache and you want to help them out. It's good to have a little bit extra. Take care of yourself and take care of your partners. More often than not, I keep these on my person in their little pouch, but sunglasses, eye protection. Now, eye protection for two specific reasons. Number one, the obvious, protection from the sun. We're in California and the sun is very big and bright. To cover your eye movements. In the field of law enforcement, it's always good to protect your eye movements, especially if you're trying to surveil. Gloves. There are times as law enforcement officers we need to put our hands on other people. Other people are dirty.
So you can run and tell that, homeboy.
We need to put our hands in places that aren't always the cleanest or the healthiest. So I always make sure that I have multiple pairs of nitrile gloves staged and ready to go in my bag, as well as on my person and on my duty belt. Protect your mitts. Another different type of glove that I typically carry in my bag with me, a more heavy duty pair of tactical gloves. All right, number 6, stationary and organizational type items and tools. Pens. I highly recommend, especially in the law enforcement career, that you always have black, blue, and red pens. Why?
Tell me why.
Because they're more legible on reports and documents that you may have to sign. At least one permanent marker and at least one highlighter. I keep Gorilla brand duct tape. Place marker things. I usually put these on reports or in logbook. A letter opener. Expo markers. Dry erase markers are such a versatile tool. They also come in handy to leave nifty notes for your fellow coworkers in the restroom if they, say, piss all over the toilet seat, don't clean up after themselves. These you can write on the mirror, you can actually write it on the toilet seat, and it comes right off. Notebooks. As law enforcement, we're involved in a lot of different types of incidents. We need to maintain a good record, a good calendar, a good way of marking important dates, days, times, especially for report writing, court, things of that nature. I typically keep this one on my person because it's got a lot of other important things, CPR certification, got a nice little magnifying glass, business cards, these little laminated phone numbers for emergency contacts, off-duty certification card, shameless advertisements. Working in different capacities in law enforcement, you may be in a situation where you need to take bigger, longer, better notes. So for that, I keep a zip-up notepad binder with me. Earlier in my career, I always carried something bigger like this, another little notebook that I carried with me early on. And I still carry this thing around with me because I like to keep important career notes in here, things like that. You can see it's got the name Pac-Man on there. For those of you that are familiar with the movie Colors, very early on in my career, I worked with some individuals that nicknamed me Pac-Man after Sean Penn, who played Pac-Man on the movie Colors. He was a crime fighter who used to drive around in a Pac-Man yellow police vehicle, gobbling up all the assholes.
Pac-Man. Stand up. What Pac-Man on me for?
That was one of my monikers early on, and it later became
the Professor.
A little bit more important, and one that I carry with me at all times is the smaller zip-up notebook. Like I said, I got my notepad in here to have all my important notes, but I also have this little side pocket that has some other very important things to me. Number one and most important is I always carry around a picture of my family. Whenever I'm set up in a specific position, I'll always pull out this and set it right next to my desk as a good reminder of why I'm there, working and fighting crime. A couple other things that I like to keep with me: evidence rulers, reference and training materials, narcotics identification, crime scene preservation, and how to carry out specific investigations, little translation booklet for other cultures and languages you never know that you're going to come across in law enforcement. It's just another tool in the toolbox. And then there's other materials in there that I have relative to my job. Business cards from individuals that I network with. Whenever I come in contact and I network with new people, I try and get their business cards so that way I can maintain contact with them in the event that we need to network for future law enforcement related training, investigations, so on and so forth. Number 7, paracord. I typically carry with me at any given time 25 to 50 feet of paracord. Why? Paracord is extremely versatile. If for whatever reason I have a shoelace break, I can create shoelaces out of paracord. Paracord, extremely versatile. You can also use whatever little spare time that you have and practice your knot skills. Shemagh. I always carry a shemagh with me in my bag. Now, within my specific department, it's against uniform guidelines to physically wear a shemagh. However, a shemagh is such a versatile tool that it's still good to have with you inside your bag, even if it's not an item of clothing that you can wear to cover your head, your face, or your neck. After you're done checking this video out, head on over and watch my shemagh video to show you how versatile this item is in a survival situation or in everyday use. All right, that was number 8. Number 9, a flashlight. Pretty self-explanatory. Light up dark places. Now, if you haven't checked it out already, when you're done with this video, check out my flashlight video. I always carry a backup one, which is a headlamp, so that way I can keep my hands free to use my other tools if I need to. And then I also carry an extra battery for what is my everyday carry flashlight that I always have on me at any given time, or my duty belt flashlight, which is the same exact flashlight, same exact brand. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe and stay tuned for more from the Last Boy Scouts, survival, and bushcraft. Back to the episode. Training material. I also have, at any given time, a piece or pieces of training material with me, whether it be magazines relative to professional development or various other different types of professional training material. Now, whether it be you're trying to identify specific slang that you're not familiar with, develop good leadership skills, Jocko Willink, or you're learning the deep arts of strategy and tactics on how to maneuver in any given situation, or you're just trying to learn from those who have been around the block a time or two, or you're trying to get philosophical and learn new tactics and strategies to carry out your leadership position. The one piece of training material that I highly recommend for any civilian or those in law enforcement or getting into the law enforcement, this book right here, Yard Down, by my buddy Johnny Rey. This is an excellent book that talks about real world experience and training to help the everyday person out on the streets understand what it's like to do a specific law enforcement job. Even more so, it's to help those in a law enforcement capacity understand how to maneuver and carry out your job more thoroughly and more professionally. So, I'm gonna drop all the information for you about the book and how you can get your own copy in the description box. So after this video is done, check out the description box for how you can get yourself a copy of this book, and check out his brand. I'm gonna drop some bonus material, some things that you might also want to carry with you in your everyday bag or purse or merce, clothing items for the weather. Now, like I said, I'm always at any given time wearing a head cover, whether that be a baseball cap, a beanie, or if I'm trying to really look cool.
In muzzle Russia, hat wears you.
I typically keep my belt keepers on my belt at all times, but there are some individuals who like to have extra belt keepers because the ones that they have aren't sufficient to keep their pantalones up in a proper position and prevent them from their pants and their belt, or both, from falling down when they're responding to some sort of law enforcement related incident or just walking around. At any given time, I'll change up the morale patches on my bag in addition to the molly to put different types of pouches on there. It's got the Velcro to where I can networking and law enforcement. One of the traditions in networking is to give or to exchange not just business cards, but also challenge coins or departmental patches. So I always at least carry 1 or 2 extra patches and or a challenge coin with me at any given time. Now, I invite you to drop a comment in the comment section if you see something that I didn't explain well enough, why I carry it, or something that you carry that you recommend that I should maybe start carrying in my bag. I'm open to any suggestions. All right, so until next time, stay safe, stay vigilant. Knowledge is your weapon. Be prepared.